This next training mission will take you through a series of landings. Get up in the air and follow your steer points to the next runway. The last two steer points before landing are most critical. These are the initial and final approach markers. Approach the initial steer point at an altitude of about 5,000 feet above ground level. Your airspeed should be around 400 knots. Use the landing approach setting to set engine power to 70%. After reaching the steer point, continue to descend as you head toward the final approach steer point. Your altitude should be around 1,500 feet and airspeed should be lower than 250 knots. Use your air brakes if you are going too fast. You must line the plane up with the runway while achieving the proper rate of descent and airspeed. Make sure the landing gear is down. You must do this manually. Your approach pitch should be about 10 degrees and your airspeed around 150 knots. As you touch down, keep the nose of the plane pitched up. When landing, the HUD will switch to ILS mode. The Instrument Landing System, or ILS, can help you line up the plane properly. Air traffic at the bases is one way, so the ILS will only work if you approach from the proper direction. Your steer points will lead you to the correct approach path. The ILS will appear after you have started your final approach. It appears on the HUD as two lines, one vertical and one horizontal. You must get the two lines to form a cross in the center of the HUD, which indicates you are approaching the runway correctly. The vertical line is the localizer, which helps keep the plane lined up with the runway. If your plane is too far left, the line moves to the right of center. If you move too far to the right, the line moves to the left.
Pull up.
The horizontal line is the glide slope indicator, which helps you approach the runway from the proper altitude. If you're approaching too high, the line will appear below the center of the HUD. If you are too low, it will appear above the HUD center point. When you're approaching the runway correctly, the lines will form a cross in the center of the HUD. Good job! You have now completed the second part of your training. Move on to the next phase of your training or continue to the next runway.